So I'm here in Jackson, Montana. I've just been to the hot springs and the lodge. Was chatting with a nice, friendly person. He mentioned that I'm riding my bike across the country. His buddy chimed in with some comments that made me super angry. And I get pretty hot-headed when I get angry, and so the best thing that I can do is just keep my mouth shut. This guy was obviously pretty drunk, and when I get angry, I don't have a lot of my wits about me to have a really well-spoken conversation. And so it's I'm angry, he's drunk, that's not going to result in a very good conversation. So the best thing I can do in that is just keep my mouth shut. And he was kind of trying to egg me on, and I just walked away. So what I really want to do is I want to address very specifically the things that he was saying and the solutions for both cyclists and drivers, because what pissed me off about what he said was his callous attitude towards yeah, I'd just fucking kill a cyclist if I had to, if it was a choice. So what he was saying is, if it was a choice between going head on into a truck and killing a cyclist, I would kill the cyclist. And it's I can see what he's saying, and I can definitely envision this scenario where you're coming up on someone, you can't slow down in time, there's somebody in oncoming traffic, and you literally do have to choose between veering into the wrong lane and staying in your lane, and you might hit someone. And so it's I recognize that that's a very real situation, and that's a very dangerous situation. And what pissed me off was his callousness towards that, where he was just kind of yeah, I'd just fucking kill the cyclists, what are you gonna do? And so I just think that there are a lot of things that both the cyclists and the drivers can do to make these kind of dangerous stretches of road more navigatable. I don't know the word. If there's any video that I ever make that is for the general audience, it's this one, because most of my videos are pretty much for my mom. They're just telling my story of my adventure, where I'm going, what I'm doing, some of the scenery. Most of my videos are just really meant for people who know me. This video is meant for every single driver out there and every single cyclist out there. Number one for drivers, I think, is to drive at a safe speed and to be aware of your surroundings and to always be looking ahead, looking for potential obstacles. Don't drive distracted, basically. Don't drive out of control speeds. And for cyclists, number one is to choose the safest part of the road, which is ride in the shoulder if there is one. But there are some times where there is no shoulder, or the shoulder is full of debris and it's not there. You can't be in the shoulder, in which case you have to be out in the lane. I don't ride right on the edge, as far right as I can. I actually ride in the right tire track of the road. And that is because I'm kind of occupying the lane so that if someone comes up behind me, they have to pass me like I'm a vehicle. And then if they brush by really close, I have a little bit of space to dodge off to the right without actually hitting gravel and eating shit, basically. All right, this is an example of a road that has a narrow shoulder. It's not really wide enough to ride in safely. So in this kind of road, I ride over in the lane. I can scoot over into the shoulder if somebody is passing me, but it's really scary and it's not fun. So I would rather that a car pass me like a vehicle and go into the other lane, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, hopefully you can see this okay, but if I get all the way over, a car can technically pass me without hitting me, but I mean, it's tight. And so I generally will ride here in the right-hand tire track. I take up the lane and this forces a car to pass around me. If they cut me close, or if there's oncoming traffic, then I can dart over here and be out of the way, but I'm less likely to get buzzed really close if I take up the lane and make people pass me. Ordinarily, if you come around a turn and you see someone going slow that's taking the lane, you're just going to pass around them. Please give them plenty of space. Don't squeeze by them. I'm going to create like a drawing that shows this situation that I'm talking about, which is that there is no shoulder for the cyclist to ride in. The cyclist is in the lane. As soon as they cross that white line, they're in dirt or gravel or grass or bushes or something. And at the same time, there is oncoming traffic. This can be a dangerous situation for everyone involved, so the key thing is to slow down. Wait for the oncoming vehicle to pass, and then you can pass the bike safely. But there is this really dangerous situation where there's no shoulder, cyclists in the lane, you've come up over a turn or a hill, and you see them kind of last minute, and there's some oncoming traffic. So let's talk about this, because this is probably the most dangerous situation that cyclists will find themselves in, and it's the most likely situation where a driver might kill a person with their vehicle. And I don't think that anybody wants to do this. And really what pissed me off about this conversation with this guy is he's just like, yeah, if I had to choose between A and B, I'd choose B. Fuck it. You know what? Like, nobody wants to choose B. Nobody wants to choose to run over a fucking human being with their car. If you do, you're a psycho. So, okay, sorry, I'm getting riled up because this really angered me a lot. So here are some strategies about what you can do as a driver. First of all, maintain that safe speed, maintain awareness, don't be out of control speeding, don't be distracted. And then if you do find yourself in this situation, give that cyclist a couple of honks. And that will let them know, if they hear you behind and they can see that there is an oncoming traffic, and you give some honks to let them know, look, I'm barreling down this road and you don't have room to pass between this truck and you safely. Those couple of honks are going to alert this cyclist, like, get as far to that curb or get as far to that shoulder as you possibly can. And so that's just like a communication piece between cyclists and drivers. So cyclists, if somebody gives you some honks and you see that there's oncoming traffic, they're telling you, I can't slow down in time. I need you to get over more. And so it's a two-way communication, right? The drivers need to give that little alert, beep, beep, I'm back here. I can't slow down, or I can't slow down enough. And the cyclist needs to say, like, okay, I hear you, I'm scooched as much as I can. Maybe that means hitting gravel if you're not going too fast. And maybe it just means, you know, getting as far to the right as you can. So there is a life or death situation. People do die from being hit by cars. And, you know, I've been out on this tour about 3 weeks now. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. And the thing that people tell me more than any other thing is, be safe. Oh, they say, oh, you be safe now. And like Like, hey, you be safe out there. And the thing that strangers tell me more than any other thing, absolutely, hands down, everyone always says, be safe. And I think that that goes to show that we human beings, for the most part, we do care about a stranger's safety. We do want them to not get injured and not get killed. And we do want them, this little gnat is distracting me. We do care about a stranger's well-being, and we don't want them to die in a horrific accident that could be avoidable. And you know, I think that's a good part of a lot of people, of just their nature of caring and wishing safety on any stranger that they meet. And maybe they don't even like cyclists, maybe they don't even bike, and they still wish me safety. And so I think that the reason that I got really pissed off at this guy was because instead of, and he was drunk, whatever, but instead of having a conversation about like, hey, this situation happens and it's really scary, he just was very callous about the fact that like he would hit a cyclist if he had to. And that to me is really gross and really disgusting. And that's what pissed me off. And that's all, I guess. That was 11 minutes. So I'll see if I can like chop that up and edit it into some sort of coherent video. I say so much. Why did I say that so slowly? Yeah, man, mosquitoes. Bugs.